Hello, my Bill 1000 Nation. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully, sorry, let me turn this up. Hopefully, everyone's having a great day. If not, I hope it gets better from here. We are back with another Watcher. This one's titled The Alien Encounter That Led to a Shootout. Mystery Files. I'm excited to get into today's video. I love mystery files. And before we get into today's video, I just want to say, I know the videos have been a little lacking the past few days. There hasn't been videos posted, but that's because I've been really sick. I got sick, went to the doctor. They said it was just allergies, which I have severe allergies, so that is very, very understandable. Ow. Couple days later, I had to go back to the hospital. It was like really, really hard to breathe. I honestly just kind of felt like I was dying a little bit on the inside. So went to the hospital, sat there for a while, left the hospital because I got tired of sitting there for a while because we had been there forever. And the lady said, go on home. We will call you whenever it gets closer to your appointment time because there were still hours that I had to wait. And about 5 hours later, she called and said that within the next 45 minutes to an hour, they would be calling my name to head back as fast as possible and all that good stuff. We get back over there, still end up waiting there about 30, 45 minutes. And got back in the bag. Come to find out, I have walking pneumonia, which is really, it really sucks. I ain't gonna lie. The cough suppressant's helping out tremendously. The wet cough is awful. I just generally feel like death warmed over. So I do want to apologize for videos not coming out the way they're supposed to. I was sick, and then when I wasn't, I was in the hospital, and then I was sicker. But I do apologize. I just want everyone to know I am very sorry that the videos haven't been coming out the way you expect them to from me, the way you guys have had them this whole time, and I do apologize for that. There's just been a lot going on, and then I now have walking pneumonia. I can't even wear my glasses because my head hurts so bad. The pressure from my glasses, it's like putting my head in a vice. It's fucking stupid. So I do want to apologize to everyone for the lack of videos. I promise once I start feeling better, everything will be right back to normal. And I just want to go ahead and thank all of y'all for your patience ahead of time. I know it's annoying. I have people that I love to watch on YouTube as well, and it kind of sucks when everything starts going to shit with them. It feels like, do you not care and all that stuff. So I just want everyone to know I am sorry. I do apologize that the videos aren't coming out the way they always have, and I'll try to do better. But I do apologize. Now, all that aside, once again, I am sorry. But let's go ahead and get into this video. If you guys are as ready as I am, go ahead, turn them lights down low, put on something comfy, cup with someone special. Let's get mysterious.
Welcome to Mystery Files, where we take a deep dive into cases that span from the creepy to the truly bizarre and everything in between. I'm Ryan, and today I'll be forcing my colleague Shane to hear all about the alarming Kelly Hopkinsville alien invasion. And in the end, you'll have to decide whether the case is solved or if it's simply a mystery.
Kelly Hopkinsville. Is that Kentucky? Isn't that Kentucky? This happened in Kentucky. Oh, I'm so excited. It's been forever since we watched Mystery Files. I know it don't seem like I'm excited, but I am, I promise. I'm sorry.
Tell me if you could guess what this one's about.
I think it's about aliens.
How did you gather that?
It's curious because it does say invasion. And usually when aliens are involved, it's sort of a You know, they crash, nobody saw it.
Yeah.
A full-on invasion makes it sound like there's a lot going on.
Yeah, you know those like alien stories where they're kind of doing recon? They're like in the cornfields, like, oh, well, let me look at them. Let me look at them taking a shower.
Right. Well, yeah.
It's not one of those stories.
Okay, yeah.
This is a story where there's action.
They're like, give me all your money.
Okay, let's get it. Season 3, here we go. But first, I do have a mysterious videotape I have to watch.
Oh, another one of your stag films.
Want to see my videotape? Oh, hey, wild thing. On the road, some things can get hairy. But thanks to today's sponsor, it doesn't have to stay that way. This video is brought to you by Manscaped.com, the global men's lifestyle brand that is revolutionizing the landscape.
So Manscaped, is your fro that you have going on there, is that supposed to be your balls, Ryan? Is your long shabby hair supposed to be your balls? Manscaped is for balls, dude, right? Right? Manscaped's for the nether heathers, right? I don't know.
Of men's grooming. Today I'm going to show you something extra special. Manscaped Beard and Balls Bundle, featuring the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra.
I'd be scared I'd mix up the razors. I don't want to smell my balls while I'm shaving my face. No.
And the Beard Hedger. It's the perfect duo for your face and below the waist. When I'm not in the spotlight, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is. It has 2 interchangeable skin-safe blade heads, meaning it's doubly tough on hairy, yet so gentle on your skin. The foil blade leaves me with a finish that's irresistibly sleek and flawless. Grooming in the shower is effortless since this trimmer is waterproof. It's wireless, with up to 60 minutes of runtime on a single charge and equipped with a dual LED spotlight for precision. You know, like when they shut off your lights because you forgot to pay your bill when on the road. You could still see what you're doing. This trimmer has 3 comb options to control your preferred hair length, a constant RPM, and a handy travel lock, so my bag won't vibrate when going through security. Ooh. Now let's talk about the moneymaker, the perfect.
Anyone ever see that one where the lady's at the TSA at an airport and the dude's going through her stuff and pulls out a friend? That shit's hilarious.
Companion for sculpting and styling your facial hair with ease, aka the Beard Hedger. This trimmer features a titanium-coated stainless steel T-blade, and with 20 different length options to choose from on the zoom wheel, I can achieve any look from a neat stubble to a full-on beard masterpiece. Just like its counterpart, this little guy has a 60-minute runtime on a single charge and is waterproof. So you could trim with confidence in the sink or shower with ease. Charging cables, combs, and travel bags keep me organized and gorgeous while on the go. So there you have it, ladies and gents, the Manscaped Beard and Balls Bundle, featuring the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra and the Beard Hedger. Once you experience the precision and versatility and convenience of these tools, you'll wonder how you ever groomed without them. Bundle up and save with 20% off plus free international
I
shipping.
love the slow sax going on in the back. Makes me want to go sleep.
That's 20% off plus free shipping with promo code WATCHER20 at manscaped.com. Now if you'll excuse me, I got a wave to catch. The sun was setting in the small town of Kelly, Kentucky, as Billy Ray Taylor went outside to get some water from the well and saw a bright object streak across the sky above the farmhouse, then crash to earth. He ran inside and told everyone what he'd seen, but Billy Ray was a known joker, and they didn't believe him.
Dang.
Billy Ray was in Kelly visiting his 25-year-old friend, Elmer Lucky Sutton, who he worked with at a traveling carnival that had stopped about an hour north in Evansville, Indiana.
You had some hicks.
Can you say that?
Yeah, I mean, I say that lovingly, you know, affectionately. A guy.
Can you say that now?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Is that just like only white people could say that kind of thing? Is that like your version of that?
Maybe.
Okay. 2 were staying at the farm owned by Glennie Lankford,
That's
Lucky's
great.
mother. And
No, just to go back to what we were saying before, because I do want to clarify. This is some good hick content.
yes.
We got Billy Ray
I don't know if we should
got?
say that. What if we call them carnies? Because they're traveling for the carnivals.
Carnies, of course. Well, I'm saying they are carnies in Kentucky. You got Billy Ray and Lucky Sutton working at the carnival in Kentucky. That's good.
Okay, it feels like you're mocking.
And I want to be clear.
You're mocking the locals. Is what
I
it
have
feels
family
like.
in Kentucky. It's okay.
Well, I can tell that by just looking at the mustache. The two were staying at the farm owned by Glennie Langford, Lucky's mother, and Billy Ray and Lucky were accompanied on the weekend trip by their
Kentucky.
wives, Vera and June. It was a hot night on Sunday, August 21st, 1955, and Lucky's brother, John Sutton, and their half-siblings, Glennie's 3 youngest children, all under the age of 13, were also home. Glennie's second husband, Oscar Langford, had died the year before, and the whole group had attended a revival, a Southern Baptist church service earlier in the day, and now we're playing cards. What do you think about these folks being literal traveling circus folk?
Seems cool.
It's
a
cool.
fun way to live.
Does that give them more
I wanted
or
it
less
whenever I was
credibility
little.
in your mind?
I don't think it has any bearing on their credibility.
That's very nice of you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected that.
I've met a lot of carnival folk in my day.
Can you say carnies? Is that allowed now?
I'm calling them carnival folk. I don't doubt that, I don't think they'd take any offense to carnies.
Yeah.
Carnies are, it's a trade.
The reason why I'm setting this up is because perhaps there might be some extraordinary details about to happen.
I want to, if there's any carnies in the comments, shout out, give us a holler.
Shout us out.
Solidarity with the carnies.
Kelly, Kentucky is a small town off of US Route 41,
carnies.
about 8 miles north of Hopkinsville. In 1955, there were only about 50 people spread out in the 1-mile radius of the town, which had a grocery store, a restaurant, a service station, and a couple of churches. Alien
Gotta have at least
invasion
two.
and UFO movies like Invasion of the Saucer Men and Earth versus the Flying Saucer Men were popular at the time, but there's no reports that the group had seen one recently. Billy Ray wouldn't shut up about what he'd witnessed, so Lucky, who had his nickname tattooed on his knuckles, went out with him to take another look. That's when they saw something come out of the woods. Now, descriptions vary, but they described them as 3 to 4 feet tall, looked like the bones of a skeleton with shiny metal over them. And when they ran, their legs looked like fluorescent lights flashing. They had webbed hands with claws and sharp pointed ears.
That sounds
Lucky
cool as
said
shit.
while his daughter would later say her dad described them to her as little silver beings, 2 to 3 feet tall, with big ears, big glowing yellow eyes, and long arms. They seemed to float atop the ground. Terrified, Billy Ray and Lucky ran back inside the house. What is your instant reaction of this? You're rented an Airbnb out in the countryside. Your 2 friends come out. They come back in. Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
Shane, I just saw a little metal man.
Yeah.
He had fluorescent little legs and he was floating.
I mean, I guess I'd ask you to take me out there to see it. Right?
That's actually fair.
Yeah. I think they're lying.
Now, Billy Ray, known to be a joker, but
Billy
this
Ray's
is
a
a
joker.
pretty imaginative description of an alien.
I could imagine that.
That's true. I guess it's not like, this is
I'll do a different one. Big yellow being, 7 to 8 feet tall, small ears, tiny, non-glowing, red eyes, short arms, walked on the ground.
When did you see this?
Made it up.
That was good.
That
really
was
good.
Gotcha.
Then, all of a sudden, Lucky's mom, Glennie, spotted a
shade.
creature with long arms and talon-like hands raised in the air, approaching the back of the house. While she hid the kids under the bed, the men grabbed shotguns and rifles. Billy Ray ran outside and the creature grabbed him. But when Lucky shot at it, instead of the bullet piercing its skin, quote, it floated to the ground and rolled away. The door quickly shut to the outside.
Telekinesis.
Lucky and his brother John
Or
situated
magnetism.
themselves at separate windows and shot at the creatures who swarmed the house.
So, are we dealing with them like X-Men style? Is this more Magneto or is this more Professor X? Is he using his brain or is he using his magnet powers? I mean, you hear most aliens like we for some reason we think each and every single alien out there's got some form of telekinesis. So, I mean, And maybe the shiny stuff around their body might have been like body armor or something that had like a stasis field around it that stopped like bullets and shit, maybe.
It came in waves, shooting at windows and doors. The gunfight went on for 3 to 4 hours, with the men reportedly going through 4 boxes of .22 caliber ammunition, trying to keep the aliens at bay. None of the bullets had any effect on them, instead ricocheting off their bodies. Finally, there was a lull in the action at 11 p.m. The Suttons, Langfords, and their guests hurried into 2 cars and sped off to the Hopkinsville police station for help.
3 to 4 hours is a long time.
Also, like,
It's a long time to be shooting at aliens.
I just think it's really funny to be blasting for 3 to 4 hours and be like, let's go to the police station.
Because it's one of those things where, like, when you're telling a story and you're like, it was 10 minutes. And you're like, it wasn't 10 minutes. There's no way.
That's like a trench warfare fight in World War II. That's like somebody like repeatedly feeding them ammo. You know, like in like the war movies when they have like the fucking like belt of like ammo and they're like, I'm out. And they're just like,
Maybe this is what inspired Saving Private Ryan.
maybe that's what Spielberg was thinking of, not his father's experience in World War II. But the
So talk about what inspired Saving Private Ryan. He's like, aliens.
What is your reality meter at right now?
Well, right now it just sounds like a story someone could tell. So I need to kind of hear more of, you know, what sort of evidence there is to back it up.
About
So sorry.
11 police officers from the city, county, and state police headed to the farm to investigate, where they were joined by military personnel by nearby Fort Campbell and reporters. As they searched the home, yard, and surrounding field and woods, they found rifle and shotgun shells, holes in screens, windows, and woodwork, but no proof of alien invaders. Though 1 or 2 people reportedly saw a meteorite or 2 flash through the sky. Russell Greenwell, police chief of Hopkinsville at the time, reported, quote, there were military police and police everywhere, and all of a sudden, a cat came out of an old hog house, and one of the military police stepped on the cat's tail. You never saw so many guns come out of holsters and machine guns come up to the ready when that cat screeched, end quote.
Pretty good.
Just imagining like 15 dudes. It's all pointing at a cat.
It sounds like no evidence of
kitty.
aliens.
But there was a funny cat.
We like that.
I mean, that cat almost got fucking blasted, but
yeah.
you know, there were holes
cat.
in the windows and
Yeah, that's because the guys were shooting.
for 3 to 4 hours. Yeah. The investigation went on until
true.
about 2 a.m., but finding nothing, the group eventually cleared out. Around 3:30 a.m., according to family lore reported by Lucky's daughter Geraldine, quote, my grandmother is in bed and my dad is in a rocking chair beside her with a shotgun. She opens her eyes and she sees one at the window, end quote. The attacks and gunfire continued until dawn, when the creatures finally disappeared. Let's pretend this actually happened for a second.
Okay.
And it happened to you. And you take a shotgun, you shoot it at this like metal man being, and the bullets just stop and fall. Are you realistically continuing to shoot at it for 3 to 4 hours?
Probably not, but if anything, I would
would.
keep shooting at it to keep it away.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, if the bullets obviously ain't doing nothing, I'm sure they know the bullets ain't doing nothing, but what else do you have? It's either we keep doing this and die fighting, or we just die. I'm gonna die fighting. That's just how that shit is, bro.
You know, maybe it's not hurting them, but if I'm firing it at them, I don't know. Maybe it spooks them a little bit.
Maybe this is just a pacifist inside me. I shoot this thing, the pacifist inside me shoots it with
Is
a shotgun.
shooting it with a gun.
Shoots it with a shotgun.
Yeah.
The bullets fall to the ground. I'm going, my bad. I take the gun, I kick it towards them. It's like, I realize
and
I'm
then what?
outmatched here.
Do they take you? Do you get took?
Well, maybe they're like, oh,
Token.
that was probably an accidental fire.
He probably just accidentally pointed a shotgun at me and fired.
Well, they don't know human nature. They probably like, this guy's probably pretty stupid. They're right. And then I just do that and they're like, oh, we'll go to a different farm. I was just curious what you logically would be doing in this scenario.
I feel like I would call the police, you know, from the get, but you know, I'm not Billy Ray.
You're not Billy Ray, that's true.
Not Billy Ray.
You're Billy Ray, you're Midday. The next day, Lucky Sutton reportedly told the group, don't talk about last night. Just keep it to yourself. No good can come of this. Let's just go on with our lives. However, the story was already out, and they did talk to the press. He told the Evansville Press, quote, "I hold my hands to God and swear on my mother, this is true," end quote. A few days later, his brother John told the Courier, quote, "You can believe it or not, just don't laugh at it." I mean, how many people read that little quote there and didn't at least smirk a little bit? It's almost impossible, right?
Like even the caption on that photo. This is the house near Kelly where little men from out in space
We're supposed to have been last night.
Yeah.
With the gun is Lucky Sutton looking up at the porch roof where one of the invaders reportedly sat.
I just love
Just sitting there kicking its feet.
It's like barely headlines. Little men from out in space were here last night.
The story spread.
I mean, this Kentucky,
Their
they got a lot of
descriptions
shit
of the
going on over
creatures
there.
exaggerated, becoming little green men, and they drew a large following. Many paid a visit to the Langford farm to see for themselves, wait for the aliens to come back, and take souvenirs from the property. Supposedly, a dead circular patch of grass had formed on the property, drawing more visitors. County deputies tried to keep trespassers away, but Glennie couldn't take it. She sold the farm within 2 weeks. It wasn't just that the crowds were annoying. Quote, "She was afraid the aliens would come back," reports her granddaughter. Now, this is unfortunate. We deal with this sometimes on Ghost Files, our other Files show. The idea that if somebody has a haunted house, there is an incentive there to perpetuate the story, I suppose, so that people come investigate the haunted house. This is a case where there is no incentive for them to perpetuate this alien story because people were just coming to them and bothering them and trying to take shit from their house.
Well,
and she sold the house immediately, which I find to be very compelling because if you're looking for a
But also, here's the other thing. Yes, they sold the house immediately, but was they wanting to sell it beforehand? And nobody really wanted it because it was a piece of shit, but now everybody wants it because aliens come there. I'm just saying, I'm not negating Billy Bob Thornton over here, Billy Ray. I'm not negating his theories on it actually being real and all that good stuff. I'm just saying that sorry, I'm just saying, what better way to definitely get rid of your house that you're really, really wanting to get rid of it to than have a bunch of people who are obsessed with aliens fighting over the land?
attention. It's a pretty extreme measure to take to get the attention off of you.
I mean, I would be curious to know how much they sold it for. With added attention, someone was like, I can monetize this. I'm gonna buy this, turn it into come see where the aliens were.
I saw some beef jerky here or something in the gift
Alien
shop.
jerky, yes.
In the years that followed,
have
the
your
group
alien
didn't
jerky.
talk about their experiences. Lucky remarried, had kids, and didn't tell his children about this experience until one day in 1968 when two strangers knocked on his door asking to hear the story. He took the kids to Kelly to show them the sights, and his daughter reports, quote, "The well was still there, and the old house still stood, and back in the field was the huge, perfectly round circle of dead grass," end quote. Even after the story was out, she says, quote, "It was very rare to get my father to speak of it. You could tell it really bothered him. And when he did, quote, the look in his eyes never changed when he spoke, and the ghostly pale color of his tan skin would always come. The night changed his life, and the days after that made him bitter," end quote. Lucky died in 1995.
Why would it make him bitter?
Well, because people think he's crazy the rest of his life.
Well, that's what you get for making up a story.
But, well, what if he didn't make up the story?
Nah, he's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. I'd be bitter too. If this happened to me and I was like, I don't know what to tell you. I shot at this thing for 3 to 4 hours and nothing happened. And then for the rest of your life, everyone's like,
Oh, Lucky died in
that guy's
1995.
got a couple screws loose.
Well, the other thing you could do is not tell anyone.
For what it's worth, he did say we shouldn't tell anybody.
He was in the paper, photographed, going,
Well, I mean, the police came, reporters
this is
came.
where I saw him. Okay, so I see aliens, I tell everyone about it, nobody believes me. Whatever. Why am I gonna be bitter about that?
Well, because that's what you're going to be known for the rest of your life.
Well, so be interesting, do other things. It's not my fault Lucky gave up and died. A bitter man.
Well, I mean, he didn't ask to be visited by
be
aliens.
like-
He's literally the victim
I'll be
here.
like, sure, I'll tell you about the aliens. Again, nobody believes me on this, but it was a crazy fucking thing that happened, and I'll tell you all about it.
Decades later, Kelly, now with a population of 300, rediscovered the story in their history and decided to celebrate it. The first Kelly Green Men Festival took place in 2011 on the anniversary of the Lankford Farm invasion. And it's continued ever since, drawing thousands of fans into the fields of Kelly to celebrate. Lucky's daughter Geraldine attends every year, telling her family's story. Well, you know, it's kind of annoying that no one really believed him and then now they make a festival of it. Like, you know, you kind of wish he would have been able to see that.
Maybe if you weren't so bitter about it, and if he was just like, hey, no big deal, let's have a festival.
I'll tell you who's not bitter.
That funny guy.
The funny guy in there. So what actually happened that August night nearly 70 years ago? Now that we have all the information, let's get into the theories.
Let's do it.
Before we get into the theories, let's make sure that I'm properly dressed for the occasion.
Oh boy. Oh, what's he got? Yeah. Look at him go. The sort of, now I don't know, what is the big spike on top?
That's the antenna to prevent them from reading my thoughts.
Okay. It seems like it would broadcast your thoughts.
That's a good point, but wrong. Theory 1. It was something from the nearby military base. As I mentioned, Army Base Fort Campbell was just 20 miles down the road, and they tested aircraft there. It could have been any number of things. Night practice flight maneuvers testing new technology, and civilians wouldn't have been privy to the truth. Lucky's daughter, Geraldine, has called this theory wishful thinking.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily explain the little fellas, right?
Explains the things that they saw in the sky, but it doesn't explain, you know, the gunfight that took place for 4 hours and then continued throughout the night after the police left.
Also, the military would probably be sort of secretive about these things and maybe not, you know, try to raid a house.
Yeah, I don't know why they would be raiding this house.
That doesn't make any sense.
So, throw it out, the theory sucks.
Yeah. Boo!
Theory 2, meteor shower. The Perseid meteor shower happens every year and peaks in mid-August, right around the time of the Lankford Sutton family's experience. It's one of the most voluminous showers with 50 to 100 meteors per hour, many with wakes of light and color left behind them as they streak across the sky.
I've seen the Perseids. I wouldn't confuse them for...
Did you shoot at them with shotguns?
I didn't start shooting a gun at the
Start
sky.
hooting and hollering?
No. I mean, when you were talking earlier about things in the sky, I assumed probably just meteors. But again, doesn't necessarily explain the bulk of what happened.
No.
So to this one, we'd say, boo.
I'd
Another
say
boo.
another boo.
Bad.
If anything,
Down
it
the shiver.
explains one half of the incident, but not the one that's actually injured it.
Maybe all of these together will explain what's going on.
Yeah, we're weaving a quilt.
Yes,
a
yes,
theory
yes.
quilt,
Yes.
if you will. Theory 3. Animals.
Monkey?
Check out that monkey.
Monkey with a gun?
Yeah, I know. Joe Nickel, a senior research fellow with the Committee for Skeptical Inquiry, believes what the group thought were aliens was actually a pair of great horned owls. The birds are known to be territorial and may attack humans when threatened, swooping down on them and attacking with their talons. What the group perceived as shining bodies could have just been reflections from the farm lights. However, this territorial behavior typically occurs during nesting season, which is in winter, not when the incident took place. Now, there have been cases in the world at large in the past where an owl may be the culprit, namely the staircase incident. I don't believe this is the same thing.
Yeah, because owls are, you know, they swoop.
They'd be swooping.
They don't necessarily like sort of walk,
Yeah.
you know, through the woods.
No.
And cause
They'd be
bullets
flying.
I'm
go
pretty
high to
sure
low.
if I shot an owl with a shotgun,
It die.
it would explode.
Tell me about these monkeys.
I just thought they're cool. You know, monkeys, you know, it could be a monkey. Look at that guy.
Wait, is this, no, I mean, did anyone put forth that theory about monkeys, or you're just saying that? It could be monkeys with guns.
Well, it's not a gun, he's on a branch.
Yeah, but no, but it
But
says,
look how cute he's looking. That's what you're
oh,
not conscious.
monkey plus gun equals dead monkey.
Yeah. Another belief that has circulated over the years is that a traveling circus, not the one Lucky and Billy Ray worked for, by the way, had stopped nearby and some monkeys had escaped. Lonnie Langford, one of the kids in the house that night, said later, quote, "These simply was not monkeys. Monkeys don't wear silver suits," end quote. While others have simply pointed out that monkeys would have bled and died if they'd been shot.
Oh, monkeys bleed.
They do bleed.
Yeah.
They die.
Theory 4. It's right here. They drunkenly.
Nobody ever talks about if aliens have balls. That's a thing, right?
You interrupted Theory 4 for that?
Sorry, go ahead.
Theory 4, they drunkenly imagined the aliens. This was the reigning theory at the time for those who weren't busy ripping the house apart for souvenirs. Too much moonshine, said one newspaper at the time. More recently, county historian William T. Turner speculated, quote, "My opinion is that they've been dipping into what we in the local vernacular call panther juice," end quote. One of the sheriffs who'd investigated said, quote, "I think it was imagination that built up from talk. They just got themselves worked up over nothing," end quote. And Air Force Major John Albert told the Center for UFO Studies that Glennie Langford had recently sent away for a Christian publication that for some reason had an image of a monkey painted silver. He believes the picture was so disturbing to her that she projected it onto whatever was out there that night. However, her son Lonnie says that while his brothers drank some, quote, "My mama never allowed it in the house. There was no alcohol there that night," end quote.
Alcohol doesn't make you hallucinate.
No, not unless it's like, in conjunction with something else.
Right. I guess if you were really drunk and saw monkeys in the woods, maybe then
You might think there's something else.
sort of hype each other up into a
Maybe.
shared delusion.
A frenzy, but I don't think we would then be like,
The monkeys would be dead. There'd be monkey bodies everywhere.
Gunfight.
And glowing yellow eyes.
4
and
hours
silver
shooting at this
skin.
poor monkey.
Bullets that stop like Neo.
Yeah, so, I don't know.
I don't know about this
Don't know
one.
about that one.
Theory 5.
It was aliens.
You don't know that yet.
Okay.
Aliens.
Yeah. Oh no! Why are you dancing?
Thank you. So nice of that alien to drop by
Nice little flourish.
and give a little bit of a cameo. I can't believe we booked him.
That's
It's crazy.
incredible.
Glennie was a highly respected woman in Kelly. Even then Police Chief Russell Greenwell, while not convinced of aliens, told his wife, quote, "I don't know whether the lady had really seen something or the people there had scared her, but she was really sincere in what she thought she had seen," end quote. The whole family stuck to the story over the years, never wavering, though the adult
Looks like
witnesses have
Pokemon.
since passed on. Of course, it's since emerged that from 1947 to 1969, the Air Force investigated unidentified flying objects in a project known as Project Blue Book. And reportedly, they did investigate this incident. That's the entire file right there.
Yeah, I'm not a big alien guy, I don't read up on them.
I mean, they obviously have a little bit more, credence to them now that the military and the government has officially announced that they are looking into them.
That ain't doing much for me though. Like I said, show me the pics.
I mean, there are some pretty compelling videos from
Yeah, but
cockpit cabins.
they're all baloney. I just want to see
It's a cockpit cabin from an actual pilot.
I'm saying if the government has aliens, show me a video where they're like, all right, we got one right here. Here he is in a little cage.
More recently, in 2023,
That
veterans
would be good.
testified in Congress about the military's knowledge of unidentified aerial phenomena. So, what do you think, Shane?
I think they're liars.
It's not a theory.
Maybe it's a combo of meteor shower, drinking, animals.
It's all three.
They're drunk, there's meteors, so they're primed to be like, what's going on? Maybe there's an owl, maybe there's a monkey.
But then they're shooting at it, the bullets dropping, all that stuff. That would have to be fabricated. To me, it's either it happened or it didn't happen.
I do believe that people may believe something happened. It's that thing, eyewitness accounts are notoriously, unreliable.
And yet weirdly specific, though.
I don't know.
A lot of weird details in this one.
I think it's baloney.
Although we can't know for sure what happened that night in Kelly, Kentucky, perhaps we'll soon know more about whether extraterrestrial life is out there. But for now, this remains a mystery. It's a mystery. You know, we don't know.
Well,
You know, it's a mystery. It's officially a mystery. We don't know. It could be real, could be not. You know, they could be liars. They could be telling the truth.
fun to think about, fun to talk about, even if it seems unlikely.
I disagree.
You disagree that it's fun to talk about?
No, I think it happened. I'd like to think it happened. I realize anything I say right now is going to be kind of just watered down by the fact that I'm wearing a tinfoil hat. I completely forgot I had it on somehow. My head's very hot.
Is it keeping the heat in there?
Yeah. Well, we'll see you next week.
Why would you put
Wow, that really, it was too big for me and it barely, it barely fit on your head.
Oh, yeah, you've got a little head, I've got a big head.
Shane, what are you doing?
I'm walking to set.
Perfect. What are you gonna do once you get to set?
I'm gonna stand there.
I like that. I miss Mystery Files so much. Oh my god. I don't know. Like, I've drank some shine in Kentucky, man. That still make you see shit. I ain't gonna lie. Kentuckians know what they're doing when it comes to that kind of shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie about it. Like, whoa, bruh. Make you forget 3 days, that's for sure. What might have some right now, I'll be honest with you. Put a little lemon in and some honey. A little hot toddy, moonshine. Make that throat feel better. At least make you not care about having a throat, one or the other. Oh, lordy. I really enjoyed this. I love Mystery Files. There's not much from Watcher I don't like or love dearly. I mean, this is great. I really enjoyed I really enjoyed today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed today's video as much as I did. If you did, please go down there, leave a thumbs up. It really does help the channel grow. While you're down there, if you want, go on over, slap that subscribe button, become part of the B5 Nation. We do some crazy stuff here. If you want to know when that crazy stuff happens, ding that bell and turn on all notifications. As always, be good to one another. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Oh, I feel like ass. I'm gonna go sleep. I want to go sleep so bad. That was so good, though. I liked it.